Told you it's pancake batter.
Pancake batter. Hot pan.
Pancake batter. I hope it's pancake batter. Don't.
First pancakes. Dave made these with coconut milk and no eggs.
And coconut oil.
And coconut oil. So these are vegan pancakes. And this is some apricot jam from the apricot trees in our backyard. Yesterday, Dave looked at the weather forecast, and it said it was supposed to be warm and sunny today. And then this morning, they changed their mind, and it's freezing out here. It feels really cold compared to yesterday, and it's raining. And look at it. This is not sunny. Is this wiring diagram the one that includes all of that stuff?
No, it's a different one.
So you found a wire when you took this off that was cut.
Yeah, it's cut.
And now you think that that cut wire is the ground.
It goes to a ground on the side over there.
So what would having that cut, would that be an issue?
It might be.
Why would someone do that?
Why would it come back on? So, you know what I mean? If it broke, it looks like it's cut, but even if it broke, why would the power come back on? You know, if that's, cluster of wires.
Right here? This front cluster?
Yeah. There's a black wire sticking out of there. It's got nothing connected to it. I just found another wire off that I fixed back there too. I hooked 10 things up and 5 more things go wrong. Some of this, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, them big conveyor systems I used to build, they were 100 times more complicated than this. Eventually I gotta know what every wire is. These were just floating around, these power wires, they were like just bare and hanging down there, so they could have been short out. There's more than one of these that I tied up and just stopped it from touching stuff. This one too. Then this one here was apart, it was just hanging together. I think that might be the pack brake. And this one ain't even connected to nothing.
Right.
So.
What about over there? Remember there were some wires that went to nothing?
Yeah.
What'd you do with those?
They're still over there. I got it tied up right here.
Oh, okay.
That's the wire that might have been grounding to the frame inside of here.
But you don't know what it goes to.
I think it's supposed to go to the alternator. But the guy's got this backup wire on here. I haven't eliminated that yet. This temporary backup wire to the alternator. I was hoping to get it working one way and then put it back, because it was working before. So if I can keep it working and then hook that wire back up, it'll be fixed. But we're still a ways out on exactly getting this figured out. Got it in there and this one out. Okay.
Dave's on the phone with Allison Transmission, asking him some questions. Okay, so what did the people from Allison Transmission tell you?
He agreed with me. It sounded like a ground problem because the power is going out from in the speedometer and the shifter. And he said that the coach companies make the wiring harness that goes in between the shifter and the transmission. And it's possible that that's a ground wire that's underneath it.
Something I started yesterday and had intended to continue today because it was supposed to be warm, but it's not. It's like 50 degrees out here right now and has been in the 50s all day. What I'm doing, something happened here in the steps, and I don't know, that was before we owned the motorhome, but it all got crashed, and it appeared that somebody sort of tried to fix the steps, and maybe this too. This got repainted, we feel, and when they repainted stuff, they got overspray. Whoever did it didn't really take a lot of measures to do a really clean job. So there was overspray on this and along the door frame. I cleaned it off as best I could. And then I spray painted over it to cover up the overspray. You can see over here, I didn't get to this side yet. You can see the same right here. There's some too. But what I'm also going to do, and would have today, Dave's got the door locked, is I'm going to paint this, which is a piece that Dave put in. It's a piece of aluminum. And then there's a threshold in the door that I can't show you right now because it's locked. I'm going to paint both of those things black as well. I am out in the storage room just kind of straightening up and going over things as we've been continuing to sell things and get rid of stuff. Anyway, I was out here, and I know I've mentioned in a video before that Dave and I used to live in this building. It was attached to an older farmhouse that is no longer here because we tore it down. And that was over that way. I have a couple of stories about living in here that are kind of funny. The windows in most of the house weren't the best. A lot of them in the old farmhouse part wouldn't even open. The ones that were in the whatever new part that was like someone had built sort of a structure between this block garage and the old farmhouse. It was kind of like a long, weird configuration. A lot of those windows didn't have screens, which resulted in us buying a mosquito netting for over our bed. So at night, when we would go to bed, our bed was right here, just kind of where I am standing. And every night we had to pull it around ourselves, and we used clothespins to seal it up really good, because if you left even the slightest crack anywhere in it, the mosquitoes would find you. Also had other interesting insect encounters, huge nocturnal beetle things, flying, weird, blood-sucking. Sometimes we would wake up and turn a light on, and there would be these bugs that were like this big on the screen, on the netting, you know, crawling around. Kind of kept everything really open at night because it helped to cool the whole structure down. That was fine, except sometimes we had critters come inside the house at night. There was one instance in particular where when we had to go to the bathroom, we had to walk. Let me show you over here. This door here open, and you can see in there, it's a long hallway. Well, the end of that, where you see the window at the very end right there, that used to be a doorway that went into another part of the house that is no longer there. And then you continue to walk through 2 other rooms and then into the old farmhouse where the bathroom was. So it was a pretty long trek at night in the dark, and there were no lights in the hallway. One night I got up, started making my way down the hallway. A cat, I'm assuming a feral cat, there are quite a few of those around here, was in the hallway, unbeknownst to me, until I saw it running very quickly towards me in the dark. I squealed, which woke Dave up because he was behind me in this room. It's still in bed asleep. I didn't really know what it was. It was moving really fast, that's all I knew. And I think the cat was trying to find its way back out the way it had come, but it missed the doorway where it had come through, and it instead ran past me. We had the 2 dogs at that time. The dogs woke up, the dogs were barking, Dave was like, oh, and he's jumping out of bed and getting all wrapped up in the mosquito netting. And then the cat came in this room and wanted to make an exit out the window that used to be where this door is. It had to run past our bed, which is kind of in this area, over here. And at that time we had a box fan in the window, and it just fit. Well, the cat crashed into the box fan, I mean, full gas. It was freaking out for at least a moment. On the side of the bed, Dave had he slept on this side of the bed closest to the window, and there was a little path. So it's all happening right here, you know, and this is where he's laying, sleeping, where he wasn't laying anymore. He's already jumped up, but he's all wrapped up in the mosquito netting. Dogs are freaking out, and the cat, he's like, what the heck is going on? I was like, oh, I don't know, it's some sort of creature. Once we both he was fully awake, and we came to our senses, and we realized that we weren't being attacked. It was funny at that point. And that wasn't the only critter encounter, but just to keep this short for this particular video, I'm gonna cut it off there, and I'll save those other stories for maybe another time.